So it's a personal development, a journey of self-improvement. So you're part of growth, fulfillment, and success. So what is personal development? It's a continuous process of self-improvement. So you're continually doing this, which is we've kind of got our we have definitely got our world upside down, which is why I call it the upside down pyramid, which is we've got a heavy in the top, i.e., we're trying to go out into the material world and solve all our issues. And that's trying to grow and grow and grow, and it more people coming in. And what happens with that is we get burnt out, emotionally stressed, emotionally exhausted. We should be growing our consciousness, which is the process of self-improvement. To grow your consciousness to learn new skills and become a better human being, basically. That's what self-improvement is. Is this thing not working? It focuses on enhancing various aspects of life. So when you think how precious life is, you're a tiny little dot in this enormous universe. And we have aspects to our what we feel is enormous, but they're tiny little aspects to our life. But you are connected to everything, as we've spoken about in other presentations, through your protons. So each proton in your body, which is trillions and trillions and trillions, is connected to the whole universe. So you're enhancing various aspects of your life because what you're doing is you're growing your consciousness, i.e., when we do the Qigong classes and we're working on our hands, for instance, which are connected to all parts of your body, what you're doing is you're enhancing the health of your body by working on your hands. It's not just me coming up with silly exercises for you to follow on that you can't do. You're actually doing something really positive to enhance aspects of your body. It involves skill development, identity growth, and lifelong learning. So personal development isn't like a silver bullet. It's you keep working on yourself. And because the way human beings are, our brains are so energy intensive, we want to relax more than we actually should do because of the bombardment we get of information coming into our neocortex through this world that we live in today. So we want to relax, but what that does, it stops us developing because we just sit and maybe zombie out on TV or lie down and listen to music. That's not so bad, but it's bombarding the neocortex, which is stopping our skill development, our identity growth, i.e. becoming the human being that we came here. And this is actually a lifelong learning experience. So it expands beyond self-help to include fostering growth in others. And that's what we're going to go into next. The broader perspective of personal development is personal growth. It is not only for you, but also extends to those around you. So when you start to praise other people for what they do, you know that you're growing yourself. If you're looking at them, which I'm sure we've all done that in the past, looked at somebody and go, oh, they're never going to do anything with that. That's rubbish. I was speaking to a client last night. We were talking about that, how that she was being looked upon in her office space of not being able to do anything. And that's really a low growth area that they're in. So your personal growth, if you're extending to those around you, i.e. helping other people around you, that means you are personally growing. Your personal development is actually starting to extend, which is great. And that goes on and on and on as you get deeper and deeper into that. So nurturing others through teaching, mentoring, or guiding helps your own growth. That's what we're taught in our Qigong school. And when I was going through the body and brain training to become a Qigong instructor and a Dharma master, was you always go to the more difficult students in your class. Not necessarily with coaching. Coaching is a different thing, but in your class, it's not quite so personal. So you always go to the most difficult person to see what's actually mirroring inside of you to make you realize what's happening inside of you. And I've been doing that for many years now. And what normally happens is either the member who comes to the class will either change or they'll leave because it's nothing. Then it becomes nothing to do with me. Whereas before, when I first started teaching Qigong, I used to ignore the people I didn't like or didn't resonate with, and they would kick up a fuss in the class and stay there until it became unbearable, and it was uncomfortable for everybody. But if you go up there and you give them the love and try to get them to see what you're doing with them, then that can change them. So it helps their growth as well as your own growth. And you see a lot inside of yourself when you do that. So roles in education and mentorship create a reciprocal relationship. So when you start to teach other people, share other people the knowledge that you have, that's so important for you to actually grow, personally develop. And examples are teaching reinforces your own learning, really. So when you can teach something and you can explain it like you're explaining it to a 6-year-old child, that means you've got it. That's why so many politicians talk so much rubbish, because they don't understand what they're talking about. And they're just blabbering on. You're going, you need to explain this like you're explaining like I'm a 6-year-old child, and they can't seem to be able to do that because they don't understand where they're at and what they're doing. What they're doing, they've got pressure from below and above, and they're not really getting it. I'm sure the ones at the top are, but the ones at the bottom aren't. So teaching reinforces your own learning. It's so important to get that. Why is personal development important? It clarifies your goals, helps you understand your true aspirations. It's the first thing I ask people in the Dream Method, actually in the discovery call. What do you actually want? What do you want? You really need to clarify that in your mind to understand what do you want. Otherwise, you're just, what one of my instructors used to say, you know, Jan, Sylvia, you're just casting nets to try and catch butterflies. They're all floating away from you because you just think, oh, well, I want a bit of that and I want a bit of that. No, you got to, this is what I want and this is how I'm going to get there. And you focus with your vision, your upper danjon to find out what you want. You use your heart, that emotion to guide you for that emotion, because oh yeah, that feels good when I put that vision in my mind. And then you use your lower danjon to give you the power, the passion, the creativity to manifest what you want. So personal development is all about clarifying your goals, boosts confidence. Achieving goals builds self-esteem and a positive self-image. Self-image is we've had a lecture on that earlier, is about the mental picture that you have of yourself. And because of the way, especially highly sensitive people, which we all are here, because of the way that we've grown up and we've had these emotional wounds from the past, it can be as small as one of the people in the Bright Business Academy having their birthday forgotten when they were a child from their father. Devastating, absolutely devastating. I don't think we realise how sensitive human beings are and how much we're going in the wrong direction with this liberal meme that we're born into, i.e. mollycoddling people. We just need to be careful on how we address children. I think we are starting to understand now, because that can really affect your self-esteem all through your life. And you can build your self-esteem and rebuild it back up, and you can rebuild your self-image to a positive one, to realize what you feel about yourself. But personal development will do that for you. Increases employability. So if you want a job, it enhances your skills, making you more attractive to employers. Sociably as well, makes you more attracted to other people. If you can speak in a coherent and intelligent way, then people are going to be more attracted to you because you're resonating at a different frequency than that low self-esteem, negative self-image. You're starting to tune in your vibration, which is important. And it improves mental health. Self-reflection promotes emotional regulation and well-being. Your emotions are not you. Your mind is not you. Your body is not you. All of these are transient. Everything's going to go at some point, but there's something sitting at the back, which we talked about before as the soul in the chariot, with the 5 senses being the 5 horses and the reins being the mind and so on. Your mental health changes when you start to self-reflect and you promote emotional regulation and well-being, because you start to understand that these emotions, this is the chemistry of the body. It's not actually your spiritual reality. It's just your experience of the body, which is why I keep saying our body is so important in all of this whole thing. And it unlocks potential. Striving for growth leads to a fulfilling and purposeful life. Not growth in the way that they talk about in economics, because that's crazy talk. We're talking about spiritual growth, consciousness growth. It was David Lynch, the film director, who famously quoted, most people are walking around, he put his hand on his eye like this, which is what they think is Illuminati sign. I think some of these people are crazy. Most people are walking around with a golf ball size of consciousness, he said. And it's true. The consciousness of so many people, human beings on our planet, all our brothers and sisters, is of a golf ball size. So striving for growth, that is to grow your consciousness. And it does change. My goodness me, has mine changed through this time I've been on this planet? Enormous changes, actually. So the role of self-reflection in personal development. Self-reflection is key. It helps identify strengths, weaknesses, and areas for improvement. It also encourages emotional regulation and self-awareness, and it reflects on past successes and failures to learn from experiences. So work on your weaknesses. Take care of your strengths. If you feel like you're failing at something, work out why you're failing at it. Is it your attitude towards it? It was for me, for many things I've done in my life, it was my attitude towards things that I'm thinking, yeah, I can do that. Being a Virgo is a nightmare sign because it's perfect, and then you can go completely the other way where you just go, I can't really do that. I'll put this out, and it's not really perfect for you. So reflecting on past successes and failures. If you think about, was it the many great inventors have said, well, I haven't failed. I've spent 1,000 times learning how I'm not going to be doing this process. So failure needs to be repackaged and re-looked at, and not thinking, oh God, I'm so bad at this, because you're not. You just have to keep trying. But if you want to be a rocket scientist or something like that, that's going to take you many years. But if just for self and personal development, it can be quite quick. So ask yourself, what do you want to improve and what is holding you back? These are big questions. What do you want to improve? Again, what do you want? What do you want to improve? How do you want to improve? What is holding you back? I remember when I was first going to meetings, talking about alternative things, and my speaking wasn't that great. And now is much better, but it wasn't that great. And so I went to Toastmasters, and I was learning to speak in public. And the problem with me was the nerves. I was absolutely so nervous. So I'd prepare a 7-minute speech and I'd do it in 5 minutes. It was so quick because I'd rattle it off really quickly. And I remember the first time I paused, I used the power of the pause when I made a point and stopped. And then I carried on the point. And I remember a couple of the people at the back who were looking at me and telling me what I was doing right and what I was doing wrong. And they said, that pause was amazing. It just changed that whole speech into something much more powerful, because you paused 3 or 4 times at really relevant points to make people think, because we tend to blabber through these things, which is what I'm doing here at the moment. But so what do I want to improve and what is holding me back? So how to approach personal development: set clear and measurable goals. Use the SMART criteria, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Time bound, you can have goals that are 5 years, 10 years. In fact, you should have goals that are 5 or 10 years down the line, which is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm developing a big back end to my website and also my YouTube channel. There's a big back end of lots of good information there. Not worried about the initial results of that. That's time bound. I'm looking at that 2 or 3 years down the pipe, because this is evergreen content, spirituality and self-development. And there will be new things that come up in it. But relevance, it's always relevant. Spiritual development, personal development is always relevant in every society. You go back thousands and thousands of years, it's always been relevant. It's always been achievable to set goals for personal development. It's always been measurable as well. If you journal, you have to journal. I keep telling people, write these things down and go back to them. But you have to be specific as well. Back to the same old question, what do you actually want? It's always so important. Develop a personal development plan, outline goals, steps, and track progress. That's what we need to be doing, is actually, okay, I want to get here. How am I going to get here? I'm going to use these steps and track progress. There's nothing wrong with getting mentors and coaches to do that, because there's people who've done the journey and you can feed off of their knowledge to help you get there. So focus on key areas: personal skills, mental growth, physical health, social and emotional well-being, spiritual growth, and career development. To me, spiritual growth is just you becoming aware of the nature of your reality And what's beautiful about the nature of our reality at the moment is that the argument for atheistic thinking is diminishing by the day. Atheists are diminishing by the day. I was speaking to one on Saturday night, and their arguments are becoming so thin and so weak. It's because of the new science that's coming out, and how you've got amazing minds like Rupert Sheldrake talking about the fields that we live in that really tie along with the Gnostic teachings and the Vedic teachings of how energy fields work and how we're in these energy fields. The argument for something, there's no way something created this, is really diminishing by the day, which is why this you're going to see enormous change. This year, you're going to see 2025, you're going to see the last grabbing of these institutions that we have, the last power grabs, and then 2026 up to 2030, you're going to see unbelievable changes. You watch and wait. It's going to be incredible. So key areas of focus for personal growth is personal skills. Build soft skills like dependability, problem solving, and adaptability. So being dependable. So you think, okay, well, I'm going to run this workshop. I know that they'll be there to help. Or you say you're going to do something, do it, even if it's detrimental to you. That's why you have to have strong boundaries to say, no, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I can't do that. Because if you say yes, you have to do it. You have to be dependable to people. Problem solving comes when you start to open up your consciousness and you see the bigger picture and you go, oh, yeah, bang, 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 bang. And also meditation. Meditation, when you've got your left brain working, analyzing it, you're getting nowhere with it, going round and round in circles. Bring the magic wand in, the right brain. Think of all these stupid ways that you could fix this problem, and then come to contemplation where you put the two together and your problem solving becomes that much more powerful and you become that much more adaptable because you are using all elements of your brain, which is an amazing tool, actually. So key areas of focus for personal growth are personal skills. Build soft skills like this has gone wrong. This has gone wrong. Physical health. Personal skills, physical health. Prioritize nutrition, sleep, and regular exercise. Social skills, improve communication, relationship building, and teamwork. Now, relationship building is difficult. Teamwork can be difficult because of the amount of people who are challenged in this society today. But you can do it if you keep meeting people who are tuning in their vibration to higher vibrations. You will start to realize, okay, they're good. Then you'll start to see people on a deeper level, which is important, because otherwise you get dragged into these lower arguments, disputes, and it becomes ridiculous. You need to be able to become more social, yes, but be more discerning with where you put your energy. It's always where your mind goes, your energy follows. So be careful when you're socializing with people that your mind is going in the right direction, because it can get dragged down into lower vibrations very quickly. And emotional intelligence. You develop self-awareness, empathy, and emotional regulation. Your emotions are your guide. And I didn't get that for so many years when Ilchi Lee, my teacher, was used to come to lectures and he'd be say, your emotions are your guide. I go, what are you talking about? Emotion? Well, I feel crap. I feel bad. What are you and what he means is, when you get this inspiration to do something, that energy, as I said before, is boundless. It's boundless, but you need to tune into it, and then you can work for hours and hours and hours without feeling anything, feeling any tiredness or fatigue, because you're into it. Your emotions are guiding you towards that, because you can either see an end result or you're really enjoying the journey of what you're going through. And that itself is self-aware, being self-aware of how you feel about something. What do you want? Where your mind goes, your energy follows. You got to hammer home these points into your subconscious for you to realize where you're going with this. Otherwise, you're just again chasing butterflies with your net. So building positive habits and overcoming obstacles. Establishing habits like meditation, journaling, reading, attending workshops, support growth, Qigong classes. All of these are establishing good habits. So I remember when I took my Qigong class from 1 a week to 3 a week. And that changed everything for me. It changed everything. All of a sudden, I was getting days when and I know many of you said to me, "Oh, I didn't want to do this tonight," but I did do it, and I feel better for it. I've heard that so many times. It's that emotion is the emotional exhaustion that stops you wanting to get off the sofa and do something. When you shake that emotional exhaustion off, your body will respond accordingly. So emotional exhaustion can be overcome. If your body is physically exhausted, then you need to rest. And it's again having emotional awareness, which we were talking about earlier. And once you get that emotional awareness, you'll start to realize this is emotional fatigue, this is physical fatigue. There's a difference between the two, and becoming discerning of those two, I think, is so important. So minimize distractions like social media, unhealthy habits. My goodness me, have I had unhealthy habits in the past? I wouldn't think twice about drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels when I was a rock musician. It was ridiculous. And of course, it said it in my astrology that I was going to be doing that for the first half of my life. And I did do it, and I did do it in style. So they were distractions. Now I'm absolutely really focused on helping myself and helping other people. And I get distracted occasionally, but not that often anymore. Social media, I never use it. I only use it for business. I never use it to watch things, or I watch YouTube for learning. I use it as a learning. It's a direct tool. I go straight to YouTube. This is what I want to learn. I'll watch the videos and I'll come off. Maybe I'll watch the odd cat now and again because they're crazy. But yes, it's minimize your distractions, overcome setbacks, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. I was so much like that when, oh, this is never going to happen to me. Bang your fist, throw the toys out of the pram. This is really bad. Now, when I see, why isn't this working? And I say, well, it's me that's not making this work. So what am I not doing to make this work? Oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, I'm not tuning into this vibration. I'm not using my emotions. Okay. How do I do this? How do I expand this? And now I'm starting to do that. It's incredible what happens, and the opportunities that come up in front of you, and the actual acquaintances that you make, which turn into friendships to give you help to get over your challenges, is when you start to overcome setbacks and not think about them in a negative way. They're positive. So focus on persistence and maintaining momentum. You're going somewhere with your consciousness. Think about that when you're practicing Qigong, when you're doing meditation, when you're working on yourself, when your personal development is forefront in your mind, you're going somewhere. So maintain that momentum. Don't think about, oh, nothing's happened this week, I'm on a plateau. Because you will hit plateaus, then you go up, and then you probably go down a bit. But that down, really focus on that down. Is it St. John of the Cross or St. Francis of Assisi? I think St. John of the Cross calls it the dark night of the soul. And they come, even when you're down the path like me, they come and they hit you hard. And you start to realize, well, why is this here? And for me, it's usually the dawn of something really good coming along. And I want that for everybody, to realize that these dark nights of the soul, you will get them regularly when you start to get a little bit more conscious with your life. So seek feedback and continuously improve. Surround yourself with a supportive network of mentors and peers, and speak to people. Ask for, what do you think of that? Was that good? Was that bad? When you start to do that and you start to get good people around you who say, well, that could be better. We could have done it like this. We could have done it like that. Then you got a supportive network around you. And when someone's being supportive towards you, when you come up with an idea, no matter how crazy, that they'll try to put good things into it. Or if it's a really good idea and you're not sure about it, and they're telling you, no, God, my goodness me, that's a really good idea. You've got supportive people around you, and that's important for you to do that as well. With if you see something in somebody that you think that they could be doing that, it's important to support them, really support them. So yeah, you're doing a wonderful thing there. Maybe try this, maybe try that, without being telling them what to do. Just give them ideas so that their right brain can go and chew on it, and they can come up with some good stuff for themselves. So request feedback, which is what I really covered. Gain valuable insights to improve your approach. Learn from others' experiences. adapt lessons from mentors, peers, and experts. Is that story? I think I said at the last meeting about the child who wants to go up to the middle of the mountain to meet the master to get his take on enlightenment. And cut a long story short, he meets the master. The master guides him through the house, sends him back down the path to his village, and he just says, the master says, you learn from everybody. You learn from everybody that you meet. So really, it's a reflection of you, the mirror principle of the mind. So continuous learning fosters long-term success and personal growth. Keep learning, keep thinking, keep contemplating, keep growing your consciousness. Why don't I understand that? Why are they saying this in a more open way than I am? What am I missing here? What am I missing? Self-reflect, self-reflect, self-reflect. Key to personal growth. Forge ahead and celebrate milestones. Personal development is a lifelong journey. Celebrate every milestone, small milestone achieved. I'm always saying this in the Dream Method. When somebody does something good, I am so thrilled. So thrilled you wouldn't even begin to believe it, because they go, oh yeah, I did this week and this happened. Wow. Wow. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. And it just gives me goosebumps to see people starting to celebrate their small wins. It's really important. Really, no matter how small, because they go, oh yeah, well, I was meditating the other day and I was doing the Jigam and I started to feel the energy. So one of my clients said that last night. Started to feel the energy for the first time. I'm going, oh my goodness me. I can remember back to when I first started feeling the energy. I can remember when Jan was saying, I can't feel the energy. What's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you if you can't feel it. It's just you need to bring your brainwaves down to that low alpha state, which is what the Jigam meditation is all about. So you're connecting more closely to the electromagnetic frequency of the earth, the Schumann resonance at 7.83 hertz. So you're bringing your mind, your brain down to that kind of frequency. So your body's going to follow and you'll start to feel that energy ball between your hands. So she's doing that and she's less anxious now. She's less stressed with her life, which is why she's tuning into that vibration, and that vibration is now starting to manifest into her life. It works like magic, but we just have to keep focusing on it. So you have to celebrate your small wins, your small your progress. Track progress. Keep a journal or log of achievements to stay motivated, and recognize that setbacks are part of the process. Embrace them as learning opportunities. I used to hate journaling. I was made to journal by my teachers, Qigong instructors and the masters. And now, and even with the sound healing, I did that with the sound toning course that I went on. I was told to journal, and I'm so glad I did, because I went back to the journals that I took every now and again. Now I do it not so regularly, but I used to do it regularly. Once I look back and go, wow, I was there. That's where I was at. And I'm here now. And you go, that's amazing. Because you take it for granted. We're taking things for granted that we've grown. But don't take it for granted. Because you go, well, if I can get to here, where can I get to? It inspires you to really try to work on yourself a little bit more. So keep moving forward. Stay inspired and focus on your goals, knowing that growth is continuous. You can keep expanding your consciousness. You can keep growing your ideas. You can keep putting ideas into the world. It was in the, what was it? You can't stop an idea its time has come. That's a really great quote. I can't remember who said it, but just, you can't, once you have an idea and it's time in your life for that idea to manifest, you have to do it. You owe it to humanity, because that's your idea. You are completely unique to everybody else. When something comes through you as an idea and it's come here to help other people in your life, work on it, develop it, speak to other people about it, and go and do it. Go and do it. That's why I've done the Bright Beings Academy, is because this was my idea. I wanted to get away from the terrible body and brain who's like cultist and expensive, to something that was a little bit more reasonable. Okay, the key takeaways. Personal development is transformative, helping you achieve your full potential. So we all want you to achieve your full potential. Hopefully you want that for everybody else. So that's what we're working towards with personal development. It's not just about improving yourself, but also helping others along the way. That also is the key to being a successful, highly sensitive human being, is to improve others as you start to improve yourself. Sharing. And that was one of the big things I had when I was working with the elderly, was to realize way back in the day, realize how much of an impact I was making by doing the training of this Qigong stuff with them. Because I was so worried about, what are they going to think? This is all such weird stuff. And I just stuck to the training, and it just grew from a class of 6 that regularly came back. Usually it's the odd bods who come first, and then once the odd bods start to rant and rave about it, then the others come. And then I had some people in that class that I just thought I'd never have dreamt they would be doing something like this. And that happened recently again in Chessington, when somebody came to the class, and they were quite rude to me, I would say, in a mild way. But it was like completely misunderstood what I said. And then by the end of the 4 sessions, they walked up to me with great humility and said, "Thank you so much for doing this. You've changed me in these 4 weeks." So it's monitoring that and seeing. It's not me changing them anyway. It's the training that changes them. It's not me. I'm just deliberate. But to see that in somebody just in the course of 4 weeks, how much can you change in a lifetime? Even in a year, in 6 months, you can change enormously. But it's about improving yourself and keep working on that. The journey requires persistence, self-reflection, and continuous learning. So we're always reading books of different people and different opinions, and watching films and documentaries. And much of it, I'm just thinking, what are they talking about? But there's much of it where I'm starting to realize, well, I agree with that. That resonates with me. I don't think that's quite right. I think they're explaining that wrong. But it's not in a judgmental way. Whereas before I'd have just written them off. I'm still listening to them. And what I'm trying to work out is, why have they come to that perspective? Because that's important, rather than just writing them off going, whoa. Some people I do. You hear people talking, they go, no, you haven't got it at all. And I will switch off straight away. But other people, you go, well, where are they coming from? I don't quite get that. So I work on it myself to see whether they're correct, I'm correct, or whether I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. That requires persistence, to actually have the patience to listen to somebody that you might not be disagreeing with some of the time. But it becomes more and more obvious when people are speaking from an agenda or speaking not from the heart. It becomes more obvious. Self-reflection does that, and continuous learning. So celebrate achievements. I think I stressed that well enough. No matter how small, keep forging ahead, keep going ahead, keep moving yourself forward, because you deserve it. You deserve it as a human being. You come here and incarnated onto this difficult planet at this difficult time. You have to keep forging ahead, no matter how small your wins are, how hard your falls are. You have to keep getting up and keep going on and celebrate what you do, because that's so important. So great choice for coming here this evening. Thank you very much. Go shine your light into the world. And I'm just going to ask, has anybody got any questions on all of that?